Hi guys, how are you doing? Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Regina Space. This is the place where I get to learn, share, and grow together with you guys. And in the process of sharing, I think I'm here to share with you today my thought process of how not really deciding to do a master's degree, because I knew for sure I would do a master's degree. It doesn't matter how old I was gonna get, but the thought process of like planning for it. I think that's what is important. So yeah, welcome to my YouTube channel. Subscribe, hit the like button, hit the notification bell so that you can be notified each time I put out a video. And so the thought process begins, I think it begins right when I began my undergraduate. I knew for sure I would do a master's degree. PhD, not really sure, but maybe we can speak about a PhD another time. So my master's degree, I knew for sure I wanted to do a master's degree, but I wasn't for sure when, or the right opportunity or the right moment had not presented itself. So I did my undergraduate, of course, in Kenya, and towards the end, because and this is going to sound cliche, but I'm a very intuitive person. I do things when I feel like it is the right time to do them sometimes, or when I feel like everything is aligning internally, it's aligning with me, externally, whatever is happening around me, everything is aligning. So there was no that alignment by the time I was finishing my undergraduate. And I was finishing my undergraduate, I had gotten a full-time job, I think about a semester or 2 semesters to me completing my undergraduate degree. And so I was conflicted because I always thought I would finish my undergraduate degree and immediately start applying for scholarships to go and do my master's degree. But here I had a full-time job, so I couldn't leave a full-time job. I mean, in Africa, we go to school to get a job, so I already had the job. So I couldn't leave the job and, just go for master's. But most of my friends, that's what they were doing, finishing undergraduate and moving abroad for the master's degree. So for me, it didn't turn out that way. And sometimes I was feeling left out, or somehow feeling left out, because like almost everyone we went to for the undergraduate moved for their master's degree. So here I had a job. I had these thoughts of doing a master's degree, not knowing when, where, or how everything was going to align. So I was conflicted. And of course, if you're in Africa, you know the crisis with employment, especially for the youths. So you don't want again to tarmac. So many people have completed their degrees and they're tarmacking. You got your job here even before you completed that degree. So I always felt like, of course, like I would appear somehow arrogant by just leaving my job and go do the master's degree. And of course, I've worked for about 4 years. Then I felt like, I could see in all organizations, in all positions that I would want to one day move to, those people have master's degree, or even 2, not just 1. Others even have PhDs. Yes, it is. Unfortunately, we live in a world that respects papers so much, that respects certificates and all that so much, or just having a name so much, and not really the skill or the talent. Sadly, that's the world we are living in, where people just respect the papers. And so for me, I thought then, I think I want to get the qualification, the master's degree itself. Of course, I have to build my skills. I have to build my art really well. I have to build my name even. I have to build my network for me to be able to make like the next move in my career. And after 4 years, honestly, I felt like it was the time and everything aligned so well. Definitely doing a master's degree was going to be number 1, of the things I needed to do for me to start making my chess moves for where I wanted my career to move to. So I know you could be asking yourself, perhaps you've already started working, you do not yet have a master's degree, and the thought process that you need to go to, or the questions that you need to answer two are, do you require the master's degree for you to move to the next level? If yes, please start thinking about it. And then you also need to consider, because again, I didn't want to do my master's degree online. Are you okay with online study? If you're okay with online study, you can just go ahead and enroll online. There's so many institutions, almost like all institutions nowadays offer online study. So you can go ahead and do that and enroll into it. Personally, I didn't want to study online. I mean, I've worked online and everything, and so I felt like I really wanted it to be a physical experience. And that's how that was one of the reasons, or one of the things I needed to consider for me to make this move. Something else you need to ask yourself: do you want to do full-time study or part-time study? Personally, for most of the opportunities I was looking for, I would have wanted to do a part-time, but logistically it was not possible for me, since I wanted to be a physical experience. It wasn't, and I wanted to be abroad. That's another thing that was crazy. I knew I wanted to do a master's degree, but I knew I didn't want to do it locally. That's one thing that I've known for so many years. I knew one day I wanted to study abroad. And so for my undergraduate degree, I was not lucky to go abroad to do it. I knew definitely sure for my master's degree, I want to go abroad and do it abroad. And so it was going to be that one. So this is a selfish dream, but I always wanted to say I studied abroad, I don't know why I wanted that to always be my story. It's a selfish reason, telling my grandkids or my children, oh yeah, I want to study abroad. I got the opportunity. But again, making that decision was not so easy. Just remember that I'm saying I had a full-time job in a very good organization, offering really a good package. And the job that I was doing is very much fulfilling. I can honestly say my job was so fulfilling because I was living out my purpose. You understand that? And again, it was paying the bills. So again, making the decision to leave was not that easy, I would say that. So I think just understand where you are in life. Do you require a master's degree or not? I feel like in all fields nowadays, almost everyone requires a master's degree. Then if you require it and you are up for it, because I know there are people who say, oh no, I don't need it, I don't want it, I don't have to go through school again. Go ahead and start looking for opportunities and programs that align with you, that align with your profession, that align with what you want to go for. I know there are people who have been able to change their professions, through a master's degree. I know someone who did chemistry and they were a fully fledged pharmacist, and they did a master's degree in psychology and moved into counseling psychology. So if you want to also move professions, if you want to venture into something new, I think a master's degree would help you do that. But again, if you feel like you want to start from the undergraduate, good for you, to each their own. So just think about what it is that you want to do. And like I mentioned, the world nowadays is respecting people so much. So even for me, I knew one day that there's an opportunity I would go for, and without a master's degree, no matter how good of a job I do, I wouldn't get it. And for us people who have done international relations, we're always thinking about, working for the UN and all that. Just look at most of the UN jobs. You require a postgraduate qualification, PhD, master's, whatever. But you can speak about the PhD another day. So for me, that's the process I was thinking about. Again, the process of moving logistically. How is it easy for you to move, either with your family, with your loved ones, with your partner? If that's possible, where are they at? But I've been able to see families here, families that have moved because one of the partner is really interested in studying. So I've seen such. So it's really possible, even if you have kids, you're married, and you have people to take care of, it's really possible for people to do that. And I'm really glad just to see that for women, this is the world where we are in now. Years back, women could not even be admitted into universities, where I'm studying, the University of Cambridge. In the 70s or in the 70s, the women were not doing, could not be admitted here. And so now we have families coming, women with kids, whether you're married or not, being able to come here and continue with their study. So that is very encouraging. And I think for me, how I ended up doing it, now that I'm saying it, I'm a very intuitive person. Things were not aligning, opportunities were not coming, or even if I see them, I wasn't feeling feeling like I should go for them. So in 2022, that's when I felt like everything aligned for me to do the master's degree. Really, the opportunity was there, someone to guide me was there, my life, it was possible for me, to leave my job and move, although it was a very difficult decision. I was able to make that decision. It was possible to make that decision, and I think psychologically I had prepared myself, about that, about leaving the job. I got a good funding opportunity, so that's very important as well. I mean, it's expensive here, let's be honest. It's expensive, and please, if you're planning, if your family is able to pay for you, well and good, but it's very expensive here. So just make sure that you figure out the finances very well, and especially if you live on your own, really just figure out a very good funding program that can be able to support you. That way you're not worried about the stresses of working to get the school fees, where you're going to get your upkeep, your rent, and all that. So I think that is very, very important. And again, as a girl, and I don't know why I'm laughing about this, I always told myself, how do you want to get married or start having children without getting a master's degree? And would a husband have come before then? And I tell them no, because I don't have a master's degree. I'm not sure. I'm not going to answer that. I don't know. But I think I felt internally doing a master's degree was so important for me. And I knew I wanted to do it when I'm settled, not when I'm thinking, about my child, not when I'm thinking, I have a family. No, I really wanted do it when my life, when nothing else is demanding of my time, is demanding of me. That's when I wanted to do it. And I always told myself, I think I want to do a master's degree before I get married or before I have kids. And thankfully it has happened. So are we ready for marriage? Are we ready for kids? I don't know really. Yeah, but it's interesting. I've also had other people saying the same. I would want to do a master's degree or even have kids after I've gotten master's degree. So I know I'm not the only, person who believes that. So that was the thought process. And even financially, just thinking about what are the financial responsibilities you have, what do you need to do between the period that you're going to be away, and I'm speaking mostly for those who want to move abroad and do their programs abroad. What are your financial responsibilities? Start putting the plan way ahead of time. For me, of course, I knew my responsibilities. Of course, I took time, to put everything together so that by the time I am going to be away, nothing is neglected. Everything goes on as it's supposed to. So that is very important, so that at least you don't want to expose yourself or put yourself in a place whereby you're stressed or not everything is going right, your responsibilities are neglected and all that. I think that is also very important, especially if you have financial responsibilities. Just make a plan way ahead of time and figure out everything that you need. How much do you need? How much do you need to set aside? What's the plan and all that? And something else that I'm not mentioning, prepare your family, prepare your loved ones, prepare your friends, especially your family. Just let them know ahead of time. Sometimes it sounds like a very selfish, to me it felt like a selfish decision. You guys, I'm just leaving, I'm going to study because I'm doing things for me, and perhaps I'm just traumatized and such a people pleaser. But for me it was I'm just leaving. I'm just waking up one day and I'm leaving and I'm going to study. And on one hand, I know that's right. That's what I want to do for me and that's what I should do. But on the other hand, you feel like you're selfish, especially to those people who love you and to those people perhaps maybe you support, and to those people who, of course, your move is not going to be in their favor. It's going to affect them either, mostly negatively, especially when it comes to family members. Of course, I did feel that, but either way, I was saying I need to do this for myself. And and I did it and I'm so happy. And of course, family usually gets affected, because I've seen some of my relatives are getting affected by it. But I think, with technology, you talk all the time if you need to, if you can even do a video call. So that's how everything has gone for me. So also prepare your family, talk to them. And this is something that I haven't mentioned here on this platform. But for me, I think the reason why things never aligned for me to do a master's degree abroad before, and the reason why like I knew I would want to do, I think it was because of my mom. She was of course unwell and old, and me just moving away and being very far away from her didn't seem like an easy decision back then, and I'm glad I didn't make that decision then. So are there things like that you need to consider? Are there people in your family that you'd want to support, or you need to prepare them beforehand so that everyone can start planning themselves? Because at the end of the day, they are your loved ones. They will be affected, you will be affected as well. So it's very, very good just to plan about everything. Otherwise, guys, I've just been rambling throughout this video, but I do hope you pick something useful. For any young girl out there, please go get your master's degree. You need it, especially if you know that your next career move would require it. So I encourage everyone, if you do want to do it, please go ahead and do it. Doing remotely, doing part-time, whichever really suits you, please go ahead and just do that. Otherwise, thank you so much if you have been watching this video till this point. Thank you so much. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, hit the like button if you haven't, so that you can be notified each time we put out a video. And adios, see you in the next one. Bye.